Hey, I'm Claire,
And I'm Janice.
and this is The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
We are breakup coaches here to help you beat your breakup
Heal your broken heart.
and move on to an amazing, abundant life. Hello and welcome to another episode of X-Files. It's Friday today, though I know this won't be Friday when the episode drops. And Claire and I are feeling the Friday feels, and we're glad that you are going to be listening to this when you listen. And we are so thankful for all our listeners, everyone in our community, our social media followers, our Facebook group, everyone in
We're
between.
just grateful in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think I love that people are committed to healing and to beating their breakup and to learning about themselves. And, you know, the fact that people listen to the podcast, you know, just excites me because people are really committed to the positive vibes and to a new future, which is why we're here.
Exactly. Like we started doing this, no idea where it was going to go because we wanted to have a free resource to help people. And we're also just huge podcast junkies ourselves. And we're, like I've learned so much from podcasts and, over the years with breakups, we've both accumulated so much knowledge about it. So seeing that the reception, like people are actually listening when we hoped they would, is really, really cool to know that we're actually affecting people's lives right now. So
true. I mean, podcasts have blown up the past year and a half. And so, there is this question, are people going to listen to ours? There's so many options and they do. So it feels really good. So we appreciate you. And if you appreciate us, we would love it if you would spread the love and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Why is that? Because we are looking to grow our impact to reach more people, and that will help us do it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've gained something from this, pay it forward and help someone else find this resource. It'll take a couple minutes and we'd really appreciate it if you left a review. And so much so that we'd like to give you a little gift, like we can't send everyone, a fruit basket or anything. So we settled on stickers.
We would love to connect with those who leave us a review. And so we've got some snail mail for you. We've designed some really cool positive stickers with a great affirmation on them that we would like to send you in the mail, international as well. So send us a screenshot of your review and we will send you a thank you card in the mail.
Yeah. Because it does take time out of your day to review us, and we appreciate that, and we want to say thank you. So
absolutely. And we're excited about the stickers. We're excited about everything X-Files related. So we thought that we'd give this a go.
Awesome.
All right. So let's get into the episode. Was it a waste of time?
Ooh.
Oh, this is a tough one. We get lots of questions about breakups and hear a ton of comments about what happened in people's relationships. One trend/theme that we hear a lot is that our people are mourning, of course, not just the loss of the person, but the loss of the future and the loss of the time spent in the relationship. My heart always feels so sad when I hear this, but it is quite common and quite understandable. A lot of people feel like the time was wasted because it did not lead to marriage or family. And then, of course, the next question is whether or not they have enough time to find the right person to achieve all those things with.
Yeah. And I get it. I was once engaged to someone who then said, he asked me because it seemed like it was something you were supposed to do after 3.5 years of being together. Yes, he wanted to, but he probably would have rather have waited until he was ready, but that social pressure of reaching a milestone was enough to make a normally very logical guy make a big life decision potentially too soon.
Yeah. So I've heard this of in more my friend networks and more people I've known rather than in our community of a lot of pressure being put on one person in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because of this timeline.
Yeah. And like you want someone to make those big like life transitions because it's coming from them internally and it's not an external
Yeah.
force put on them,
Mhm.
whether or not it's like actually explicit. Like just being in the society we're in, you know, Facebook and Instagram feeds seem like an endless alternating stream of like baby pictures, weddings, engagements,
The
these
hand pictures with the rings.
yeah, I know.
Look, I'm so happy for, you know, the people we know who have gotten engaged, but I mean, it's still, it's in your face.
It's in your face
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a reminder like, hey, have you done this yet?
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah.
you know, like one of the first songs I learned on the school playground was like first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby
Totally
carriage, you know.
forgotten about that.
You know, society has primed us
Mm-hmm.
with this timeline, and although there is definitely shifts happening with societal change, and also like the economic realities of, you know, getting married, having kids, you know, the message is that dating is for marriage. And once you've created that white picket fence and the government has gotten on board with your union, then finally you've
Yep.
arrived and you can be
Mm-hmm.
happy. But the truth is, you won't be happy with someone until you learn to be happy
It's so
alone.
true. And
You
I am
know?
glad that this is shifting, but it hasn't shifted all the way yet. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, like I talk a lot on my Instagram about this a couple of times. And, you know, like we have this example of like previous generations staying together, you know, their whole lives, like after getting married, you know, right out of high school,
Mhm.
things like that. And, you know, the thing is they just had a lot less options. And
Yeah.
so what we see as like success might not have actually been as like perfect as it looked from the outside. And you know, I think it, you know, maybe was like a really positive reality for like our grandmothers, but
Mhm.
for us, like we are able to get a bank account in our own name. We are able to support
Support
ourselves
ourselves.
economically.
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
we
Get our
don't
own
need no
place.
man.
Travel. It's true.
You
It's true.
know?
There. It's happening. Do you know the actress Connie Bryton? Oh, from
No.
Nashville.
Oh my
She's
God.
Raina James.
Oh,
So
Rena
I think
James.
she's single, and apparently she's doing like a show about women who are choosing not to get married. I
That's
saw something
amazing.
on it, my feed about it the other day, and I, you know, it's a
Yeah.
movement. It's a whole movement.
Well,
You know,
if
some
she'd like to
people
come on the
still.
podcast,
Oh,
that is
girl.
super
Oh
welcome.
gosh. Connie.
Please.
If you want these things, I still think it's perfectly valid. But yeah, we do
Yeah.
have, you know, more options today that I think we should be promoting a little bit more than just the engagement rings.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay to be worried about your biological
Yeah.
clock. It's okay to want to check something off for the status, for the social status. It's okay to want someone to sign a paper because it makes you feel safer in the relationship.
Yeah.
Just be sure it's what you actually want and you're not just responding to the like implicit messages that are all around us
Yeah.
right
And
now.
I
So
think if you really get to know yourself, then you'll know where the motivation is coming from. And sometimes it takes being single to learn that. So why is there so much emphasis on time? First, fertility, which is valid. So we can't change the fact that, you know, our bodies do age, and as women, there is, you know, a time frame for having your own children. So I mean, I relate a little to this. When I got divorced, we were in the phase of like talking about doing it, and then, you know, the marriage fell apart. And at first I was kind of angry about it, thinking, well, you know, this is something I really want. But I mean, I went immediately to, well, I'm going to do it on my own. You know, I'm going to get it inseminated. But I lived my life and I forgot all about it. So, but I do relate. And I know that,
yeah.
you know, this is a desire that a lot of people have that I think is valid. I can relate to it. So another reason why time is important, social status.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, this is changing, but there is still quite a heavy emphasis on getting engaged by a certain age, married by a certain age, buying a house, which I don't relate to because I love to rent, but doing all of these things by a certain age, by a certain point. And I do think that a lot of this is imposed on us by the people around us, by social media, by society, by the way we were raised. I got married young because of the timeline, because I came from a religious community where everyone around me had pretty much already gotten married by the time I did, and I was still really young. So all that being said, I still think that there's an emphasis on time because it's what people want to be in a relationship. And so they explain it this way. I know this might be a little harsh or controversial to say, but I think a lot of people are just uncomfortable being alone and uncomfortable being single. And instead of learning how to thrive single, they stay focused on finding someone because they say they want to get married. They say they want kids at a certain age, but really, I think it's kind of more of an excuse to keep looking rather than keep like doing you. Not everybody, but I do think that some people just simply don't want to be alone and explain it this way. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not everyone, but I do. Yeah, that's what I think.
It's another possibility.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. All right. So let's explain this a little bit more. We know that you folks love a new term and we do too. I'm a big fan of the fab. Fading affect bias.
Fading affect bias.
We're not here to talk about that, but yeah, we love our terms. Behavioral economists have done a ton of research on something called loss aversion. All right. They found out that losing something feels worse or has a greater impact than gaining the same thing. Dan Ariely has done some great studies on this, and it's easy to comprehend when you look at gains and losses when it comes to money. This really put it in perspective for me. They found through various studies that losing $100 has a much greater mental impact than the happiness you get from making $200 or $300. All right, so when it comes to relationships, we may view that the relationship has ended in a more negative light than we will view the opportunity or possibility for a new one. Because look, if you want to get married and you want to have kids and you've just broken up with someone, then I would say, yay, now you can go find someone that you're more likely to have these things with. Yeah. But that's not how the human brain works. You're going to be focusing more on the fact that you lost a relationship, more on the possibility of a new one.
Yeah, exactly. And, saying it's a waste of time is kind of like a way to put a label on why you feel so devastated.
That's what I'm saying about the excuses thing. I think that it's logical to say that it's because of the timeline when really you just feel shit because your relationship just ended.
And it sucks.
Yes, of course.
It just sucks. It doesn't need to have like this whole like bigger picture reason. So
especially because if you want these things in your life, then dwelling on that it was a waste of time is wasting your time. Like you need to be working on yourself and getting ready to, call someone else in.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, oh my God, I'm one step closer to the person I'm actually going to do this with.
It's so true. And looking back, so I've thought a lot about my divorce and about the relationship and the man I was married to. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't think he would have been a good father.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
It's one of those things like looking back, you're like, I'm so glad
I really am. And, and breaking up with him got me closer to the life I have today, which I love. It's really hard to see that at the time. Yeah. But some people keep
reminding you, and one day you'll get there. You're like, I hate you. Stop saying that. And we're going to keep saying it.
Well, but we are, because we love you and we believe in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we have some tips and insight on how to trust that things worked out for the best. But first, we'd like to tell you about another podcast you might like if you enjoy this discussion.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. We are friends with the gals over at Messy Path, which is a bingeable podcast on all things relationships, personal growth, intuition, and being a woman on the messy path of life.
Whitney, who's one of the co-hosts of the Messy Path, was on the X-Files. a couple months ago now.
Yep.
So if you really liked her episode, then you're going to love The Messy Path. Her and her co-host Ariel, they're a life coach and RTT therapist, and they've joined forces to share reflections on their personal growth journeys and stories from their work as both coach and therapist, to help provide some guidance, support, and tools for us all to use along the messy path of life.
Yep. It's a really practical show. They give, a lot of tips that you can use right away.
Exactly.
And it's, it's an easy listen. So you can head to the link in the show notes for their info, or simply look up Messy Path wherever you're streaming this podcast.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right.
So with that, we are here to share some alternative perspectives to help you feel more calm, trusting, and open about how things worked out and your dating future. So first off, saying that a relationship was a waste of time is essentially avoiding taking responsibility for your part in the relationship.
Good
And
point.
yeah, and your enjoyment of that relationship. Like, you weren't exactly like captive against your will in this terrible thing that you were hoping was going to pay off. And if you were, then great. I'm so glad it ended, because it's not supposed to feel like that. Yeah, not all of the good things in a relationship are reserved for this future or for after you make an unbreakable promise of forever, like, you likely had a great time with this person while it lasted. And, those memories are going to be meaningful, no matter whether it lasted or not. So, yeah.
So I put in here that I actually would be willing to trade some of my happy memories to have not had the relationship, because I've had a couple bad relationships and bad breakups. However, so I don't want to say, not every relationship people are looking back fondly on, but even if you aren't, I still don't think that they were a waste of time.
Yeah.
And why is this? No losses, only lessons.
Yes.
Which I just absolutely love. Every relationship teaches us something important. If we listen, without those lessons, we won't be the person we need to be to have a successful long-term relationship. We won't know what we want. We won't learn about ourselves. We cannot change the past, but the past helps inform and create a better future. Use this time to learn about yourself and to, create better relationships in the future. Stop saying it was a waste of time,
Yeah. It was part of learning. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So building off of that, we figure out our needs, wants, and desires. And this is something that Whitney talks about a lot in her coaching.
That's the name of the episode, Needs, Wants, and Desires, with Whitney Oppenheisen.
Yeah. Right? And so that episode will explain more about what this is, but basically it's what works for you and what doesn't, or mostly what works for you, because it's in a positive light. But when you have experiences, you're figuring out what works for you, what doesn't, what we need in a partner physically, emotionally, socially. A fun exercise is to think about what you said your type was, like in middle school, like when you were young and you hadn't dated anyone yet, you're like, what's your type? I swore I hated beards, but I'd never met anyone with a beard, honestly. And now
in middle school,
probably I don't know. I probably just blanked out adults.
Right. I also probably would have wanted someone clean shaven.
Yeah.
Because
all the boys were clean shaven back then. I was obviously crushing on people my age.
I know.
But yeah, so I swore I hated beards. Now I love beards, but I know it's not a deal breaker. I'm not building a relationship off of someone's amazing beard. I can live without a beard, but I cannot live without someone who's open to talking about their emotions. I've learned that even though I can understand that some people just aren't like that, especially men can be open to that, but I feel like it's harder to come across
Mhm.
than, and I know that's changing and evolving, and it's becoming more socially acceptable for men to talk about their feelings and to
Mhm.
have feelings. And I think that's wonderful and positive, and I want that to continue. But it's not like 100% of men are like, oh my God, yes, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why the search is important.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I also claimed I wanted blue eyes, but now my favorite is hazel.
That is
And
very specific. I don't think I've ever
yeah,
even thought about what I prefer as far as eye color goes.
yeah.
To be
So I,
honest.
I just like that stands out
Huh.
to me as like a
Mhm.
memory. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
definitely only blue eyes. Like, yeah, 100%. So, it's like wine. How are you supposed to know what you like until you try a few things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. And why is it also not a waste of time? Because we experience more of the world thanks to our past partners. This is
Yeah.
absolutely true. For me, I think it's true for everyone. Even if it's just that you learned about relationships or sex or whatever, you might have also learned how to cook. You might have traveled somewhere exciting together. You could have moved cities, started CrossFit, found your favorite TV show. The differences
Yeah.
between you and your exes meant that you went outside your comfort zone, you tried new things, and now you're a more interesting, dynamic person.
Yeah. Yeah, you just kind
Absolutely.
of just a little bit of cross pollination as you move through life. And generally that happens more with people we're close to and spend a lot of time with, which
Mhm.
ends up being your partner. Um, yeah.
And like I said before, if things like children and marriage are what you want, then it's actually a blessing for a relationship to fall apart. You should want the most for yourself, the best for yourself, and you shouldn't want to be married to someone who a relationship won't work out with. Trust
Ah,
me.
yes. Like it
Can I get an
fell
amen?
apart.
Getting more ingrained in a person's life can often make breakups, especially divorces, worse. And as
Mhm.
far as having kids go, you especially want to be in partnership with someone you can go the long haul with. A kid is more permanent than a marriage. I mean, you're in
Yeah.
this for life with this
Lifetime.
person,
Yeah.
and it's best to know if this is a person you do or do not want to have a relationship before you do it. I mean, really, this is one of the main reasons I kind of, I wouldn't say lost interest, but decided not to have kids is I, saw it as doing something I would do with someone else. And I just thought, I don't have the relationship thing down. I don't really want to do it alone. And I don't want to be tied to someone forever who, I'm not sure
Yeah.
about. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so those are some of the alternative perspectives
Yes.
to add to whatever perspective you're holding right now,
Mhm. I
just
really
to
hope it
kind of
helps.
take the pressure off
Mhm.
yourself, like
Yes,
that's
definitely.
that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of stress, and it's not something like you can do A, B, and C and necessarily be like, oh, that'll definitely take care of this.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
good point.
yeah, like you might not have control over some of these things.
Yeah. And I,
So,
I do think it's really good, to live in the moment and to make the most of your situation rather than dwelling on the past.
yeah, it's your
Mhm.
life. Enjoy it. So, some exercises to help combat this thought of, oh my God, my relationship with my ex was a waste of time.
Mhm.
So, first off, to help you take responsibility back for your past, write out all the things, all the resentments towards your ex. These are all of the reasons that you think that was a waste of time.
Mhm.
Write them out. You can spend a couple days thinking of these things,
Mhm.
or you can always keep adding to this list as different things pop into your head. But write out all your resentments towards your ex and then go back and for each one, ask yourself this question and then write out the answer. What was your role in each of these circumstances? Either it was, you put up with it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it could
Um,
be just that you didn't say no to it or
yeah,
speak up.
it could be that you didn't
Yeah.
say no. It
Mhm.
could be that, you made excuses, you made
Mhm.
it okay for this person. You were, more in your people pleaser than in your like standing up for what you actually want. You're like, oh, well, I want things to work out. Maybe they'll change their mind. You know,
Yeah.
what was your role in each of these resentments? And therefore, it just like takes us back to the fact, you were in the relationship too. Like you decided not to end it until when it ended, or, it was forced to be ended for you. So,
Yeah. Were you fooling yourself a little bit?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But realizing like it wasn't just this one person ruining your life, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. I do an relationship inventory in my coaching practice, and we go through every little thing that happened and every little thing that the person did that caused it. We go through what your friends and family thought of the person, what you thought about your friends and family thinking that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
That's a big
really
one.
encourage people to take stock of the relationship before diving back into dating again. Regardless of how you do it, we've given lots of tips on the show.
Yep.
All right, another way to stop focusing on the relationship being a waste of time is to simply stop focusing on it.
So
Dwelling on the
simple.
past, yeah, well, I mean, it takes practice. It
Yeah.
really, really does. Dwelling on the past and what you regret is a really easy way to get into a horrible mood. It's a great
Yeah.
way to become bitter, sabotage a beautiful future, and maybe call in a bit of depression. A lot of people say that focusing on the past is one of the causes of depression. I
Yeah.
don't think it's the only cause, but I don't think
Yeah.
dwelling
And
on the
this is
past is.
situational depression. This isn't like
Yes. Yeah,
clinical,
exactly.
like
I think it's really
chemical
simplistic
depression.
that,
Yeah.
that people are going around saying it's dwelling on the future that causes, or dwelling on the past that causes depression,
Yeah.
because it's a much more complicated than that. But
Yeah.
I do think this, it can lead to it, especially if it's situational.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can do about the past. The only thing that exists is this moment. And the only thing you have control over is your happiness in this moment and what you will do with your future. The more you can begin to accept that your breakup is an opportunity rather than a tragedy or a loss, the more you will thrive and stop thinking this way. The more you stop dwelling on the relationship being a waste of time and instead count your blessings, the more you will see your blessings.
Yeah,
So,
100%. And research has shown that even just asking the question, what am I grateful for,
mhm,
changes your brain
yeah.
chemistry and
Mhm.
makes you happier. So even if you can't think of an answer to that, keep asking yourself the question, what am I grateful for? What
Yep.
am I grateful for? And
Yep. Count three
eventually your
things.
brain will start giving you answers
Yep.
for that. So,
Yep. Gratitude is the highest vibrational emotion. And so, yes,
yeah.
asking the question or just listing three things, listing
Yeah.
one
And it
is
can be
can
small.
help. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure
I'm
it's
glad.
things you believe.
Yes. I said in my gratitude journal this week that I was glad for my legs because I
Yeah,
like to
well, that's
walk
a
so much.
big deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
they went
But
away one day, you'd be very sad. So
all
in the
right.
future, when you're dating again and you're dating someone who really wants these things and you're not ready for them, that's not your person. Like, even if perhaps in the future you might be ready, I can tell you right now, the right person will be on the same page as you.
Yes. I
So, and vice
agree.
versa. If you're really ready and you're dating someone and they're like, I'm not really ready, don't hang out to find out if they're going to change their mind.
Yes,
Like,
this really comes down to how you date and being intentional about it and being slow about it and making some of these decisions, which might kind of suck
yeah.
early on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
make these decisions early on because also you don't know these people very well. And, they might have some seriously bad people pleasing tendencies, and you're influencing them to think that they need to give you things that they're actually not ready for. And, sometimes you're going to be at an emotional maturity level that's higher than the people that you're dating. And sometimes you have to be the strong one to make these decisions and be like, hey, you know, this is actually a deal breaker for me. You seem wonderful, but clearly the timing's not there for us.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Agreed.
yeah. And I know this gets complicated if you've been with someone long term and it turns out you're not on the same page. And that's when you have to make really tough decisions between your values, goals, and the love for this person.
Yeah. And that's one reason we're here, because we know how hard it is.
Yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes love just doesn't work out. And that really hurts, but it's never a waste. Never, ever, ever.
Agreed. It's just it's an opportunity to learn so many things. So if you're struggling with these thoughts, we really, really hope that this helped. And I think starting with changing your mindset, maybe listening to this a couple times. Will help you get there.
Yes. So today we are doing a breakup ballad. Toxically empowering. And we've got the OG in the house. Kelly Clarkson, not actually in the house, but you know, she's super welcome if she ever feels like coming by.
She's gonna be doing the Ellen show. Did she start already?
I have no idea.
Yeah, she's gonna be the new host.
TV.
So, I don't need. I
mean, I somehow missed that news. It must not have come up on TikTok because that's where I get my news now. So,
but yeah, she's gonna be taking over.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for her. Yeah.
Curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So Claire chose today's breakup ballad. Do you want to say anything about why you chose it?
I wanted to choose it because I feel like it puts into words the things that a lot of people struggle with.
Okay.
And it's this feeling of if you don't have this person in your life, that's kind of that's like it for you. That was like your chance at happiness.
Yeah.
And so I brought in the song My Life Would Suck Without You. And yeah, I just think it's really it's a fun song to have a look at through this lens. So
yeah, this is an interesting one. All right. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My Life Would Suck Without You by Kelly Clarkson.
Woo-hoo.
Guess this means you're sorry. You're standing at my door. Guess this means you take back all you said before. Like how much you wanted anyone but me. Said you'd never come back, but here you are again.
Yeah. Well, this is you know, it's one of those things you can clearly this guy really wanted the breakup at the time. And I see this as a coach. I'm like, oh, he went through the breakup and felt the inevitable, like crushing sadness that happens whether you knew the breakup was the right move or not, and panicked. And now he's back at her door. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the breakup was the wrong thing for them. Just because it hurts.
Not at all.
Yeah. Something can hurt and still be very much the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So
almost always is going to hurt. And I really wish that people wouldn't backtrack and that people wouldn't leave, the doors open for people to do this, because it also just never really works out.
It just hurts you. Yeah. So
yes, it just makes it worse. So he's having second thoughts.
Yeah. And she's taking it in the chorus. Because we belong together now. United, forever united here somehow. You got a piece of me. And honestly, my life would suck without you. So she's like, it's like that. If it's meant to be, like, if you love someone, set them free, and if they come back, they're meant to be yours. And she's like, oh my God, he came back, he's meant to be mine.
Totally. And I had this thought when my ex-husband and I kind of reunited for the disaster that was the reunion. And I just thought, like, look how much we belong together.
Yeah.
And no, because you
No.
have to also think, what was the life like when you were together? And I've heard
Yeah.
people say this too, that after they've gotten back together, and it's just like, what about all of the pain and all of the fights and all
Yeah.
of the misery when you were together?
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. It's okay to do second chances, third chances, but they have to be different than the first. You don't get the first chance over again.
Yeah.
Something has to change in
Mm-hmm.
order for there to be a second chance or a
Yeah.
third chance or whatever chance it is. Like, something had to have changed. You're not just trying the same situation over again to see
Mm-hmm.
if it worked. Like, I know that kind of works when you're editing a website, just keep trying it. And sometimes it does actually end up working, but it doesn't
Okay.
work with people.
No, no, especially when a lot
Like,
of, in this situation, it seems like the people are trying to get back together again within like the initial weeks or months.
yeah, it doesn't
No.
seem like it's been that long.
I mean, and also the feelings around the breakup are still really present, I think, when you get back this soon, and it just doesn't make for good bonding and partnership.
Yeah.
All right, she goes on. Maybe I was stupid for telling you goodbye. Maybe I was wrong for trying to pick a fight. Blaming herself. I know that I've got issues, but you're pretty messed up too. Either way, I found out I'm nothing without you.
Mm.
Ah,
So I kind of see this next verses as actually from the guy's perspective
okay.
because he was the one. I mean, I'm assuming it's Kelly Clarkson that she's dating a guy. So, so in the beginning, it's like you're standing at my door. Guess this means you take back all you said before, like how much you wanted anyone but me.
Oh,
So
so
he did the breaking up with her. And now he's saying, maybe I was stupid for telling you goodbye. Maybe I was wrong for trying to pick a fight. I know that I've got issues, but you're pretty messed up too. Either way, I
mhm.
found out I'm nothing without you. That this like sounds a lot like, just that I've got issues, but you're pretty messed up too. That sounds super toxic.
Yes,
He
yes, it
sounds like
is.
not a nice
Mm-hmm.
person.
Yep. Mm-mm.
And he's
Yep.
kind of shifting like the blame. He's like admitting a little bit of responsibility, but also pushing a lot of responsibility
Yes,
onto
it is a
her.
red flag when people do
Yeah.
this rather than
Yeah.
just focusing on apologizing. They push it on the other person. It's it's
Yeah.
really not
Like,
healthy.
I
It's
wouldn't
not a
have been
good
this way if it
trait.
wasn't for you acting that way. And it's like, wait,
Yep.
what? Like,
Yep.
are you asking
Mhm.
for forgiveness or are you just making me feel bad right now? Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
This is a person who does not have healthy communication or the ability to see their role in things.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because we belong together. Yeah. Forever united here somehow. You've got a piece of me. And honestly, my life would suck without you. Being with you is so dysfunctional. I really shouldn't miss you, but I can't let you go.
Yeah. It's clear to both parties that they don't like each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, he's like, yeah, you're pretty messed up too. And she's like, you said these really terrible things to me. And then, like, this is the bridge. So, like, maybe they're both saying, this is really dysfunctional. Uh,
Or
uh,
maybe I think I kind of took it as they're just saying like this is just how it is. And
yeah.
there's been a theme in lots of songs that our love is just so crazy, like the Rihanna Eminem song about
Yeah.
burning the house down and stuff, and just
Yeah.
like this is how passionate we are, and we just
Yeah.
we can't, there's nothing we can do about it, and this just proves how much we want to be together. And it's not a good message. I think a lot of young people have the idea that relationships are about drama and fighting for one another and doing horrible things, and it's not at all. That is
No.
not why we are with people.
No. And I think, this bridge actually shows they have an awareness of why they're still together, and it's because they can't let each other go. So, it comes down to like lacking the strength, even though they know that, the things keep ending because it's not working. And yet they can't let each other go. So yeah, what do you think, Janice?
Well,
Toxic or empowering?
especially because of how it ends with her saying that it's dysfunctional, but she can't stop. I don't think it's a good message. I think it's a
Yeah.
toxic message.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, I'm not too big of a fan of this song. I know that it was quite popular. It doesn't really do it for me. And
Yeah.
so because of that as well, yeah, I would label it toxic.
Yeah.
And it's a little surprising. I mean, she's got some really empowering breakup songs.
Yeah, exactly.
This one I would not consider to be.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's definitely, I agree, toxic. And, I think we covered it here, not because anyone would probably be like, oh, no, I totally think that's a healthy song. I just think it illustrates a very common sentiment that people have during breakups.
Yep.
So that's why we brought it up. Yeah.
No,
so
this was a really good pick. I'm glad we did this one. And what did you think? Leave us a review and let us know, or head into the DMs and let us know.
Yes.
And if you want more support around your breakup, more support learning how to accept that it wasn't a waste of time, more support taking inventory of your relationship, deciding what you want for your future, rocking this hot back summer, we would love to be your breakup coach.
Yes.
So you can also DM us to ask for information. You can go to our Facebook group to get information there and chat with us about what our support looks like and how it can help you to beat all of this and then to call in a brighter, better future.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super huge. Coaching can make all the difference. I know both Janice and I have personally benefited from having our own coaches.
Yep.
And so this is just something really exciting that we get to offer. It's one-on-one, it's personal, it's tailored to you. We do not coach together yet. Maybe one day we'll have like a group program or something for that. But for right now, like, especially on this podcast, having two people, like we sometimes do take different perspectives. We have different styles.
Yes.
And so,
see what resonates.
Yeah. See what resonates. And yeah. So reach out to us. You can also join our Facebook group.
Yeah. We give lots of support over there as well. And we do show up together.
Yes, we do group. There. So we've been doing pretty much weekly live Q&As where you can send us your questions during the week if you can't make it. The replay is available, so we're able to like address kind of the unique parts of your situation. And if you can make the live, you can ask questions live and we can kind of have a coaching conversation where, it's basically like a live podcast.
No, it's a lot of fun. The last one was really, really powerful. Awesome. Had a really good vibe.
Yeah.
So you can find us at Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On. Please make sure to answer the membership questions and come join our vibrant community.
A vibrant. Yeah. And, find some people who can remind you that you're not in this alone.
Yeah.
And that it's really
good for
can do this.
So, because you can.
With that, we will talk to your ears again very, very soon.